first. Why don't you go ahead?
I want to focus on the impact on small business. But before I do that, I'd like to make a point as a member of the Finance Committee, and you folks report on it. You always hear Democrats saying corporations ought to pay their fair share. What you don't see in a lot of their tax proposals is it's just like everybody in small business is a tax cheat. We got to do everything we can to collect all the money that small business isn't paying. Another fact, before I get into my point, is the fact that we got 6 million people that haven't entered the labor force since the pandemic. But what doesn't show up, and it's been talked about in the last 2 weeks in newspapers, at least 1 4/10, and another figure was 1 6/10 of those people that aren't on the returning to work are setting up their own small business. 1 4/10 or 1 6/10 million people just starting their own business because they don't want to go back where they were going to work. So now we're faced with this tax bill that's going to hit small business. And you're going to, well, I guess the point is, this is what I'm hearing from Iowa small business. It's going to be very detrimental, these tax provisions and this wild-eyed tax and spending spree bill that could come before us just hurt small business. Main Street businesses. And they're the lifeblood of our communities. And they're also faced with input into their business with a 6 2/10% inflation tax that everybody's paying, not just the small business, but everybody's paying it. Just like paying a 6 2/10 increase in your state sales tax, as an example. So this Biden tax cut, tax increases are hitting small business, hurting our Main Street, hurting the backbones of our communities, and instead of helping small business, they're hurting small business. Instead of helping middle class, because that's what most of these small businesses are, they're hurting middle class. And as we said last week, this is a blue state billionaire bailout, not something that ought to be helping the people that it ought to help.